Hey friends, it's Lynn and I'm back again with you this week for a fun watercolor tutorial. We are going to be painting these beautiful little pumpkins, which if you're a beginner is perfect because pumpkins are so forgiving. And on top of that, you're going to have so many cute things for your journaling, your calendars, your tags. It's going to be great. All right, let's begin. Here's what you're going to need: any weight watercolor paper, any watercolors. I have Hyper Exist watercolors. I'll link these for you. But your basic colors are going to be red, green, maybe some brown, yellow, and I have a really pretty sage green that I like to use for the white pumpkins. I'm also using a number 5 fusion brush. It's got a really soft, pretty tip on it. I have this Uniball Air micro pen. That's pretty fun because once you use it, it dries, but if you use it fast enough, it's going to be wet. So you get a really fun shaded look on your pumpkins. The other thing I'm going to suggest are paper clips. These are extra large gold paper clips, but you can use any you have laying around. Some water and some paper towels. And last but not least, don't forget your scissors. All right, let's paint. All right, friends, let's start with our basic orange pumpkin, shall we? I'm going to get my brush really wet and I'm going to load on it my orange paint. Now, I've already gotten these paints wet so that they're ready to rock and roll today. And here's how we're going to start. With the tip, you're going to lay it at the top and press down and make a small half circle. You're going to come on to the other side. I'm starting on the left and going to the right and do the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's perfect, I promise. We're going to load our brush again and I'm going to come down the middle like this, and then I'm going to add a little bit back here and a little bit back here, and then I'm going to close up this bottom part. Now see how this is darker than this? So you're going to want to come down, add some more paint, bring that paint down. And that's our first pumpkin. That's it. All right, you ready? Let's do that one more time. I'm going to zero in a little bit for you. We're going to start with the tip. Press down a little, make your little half circle. Load up some more paint. Press down, make a little half circle. See how that's not even, but that's okay. I did not wet my paper first. So see the two different colors here? So now I'm going to start back up at the top and bring the rest of that paint down and around. And just kind of move it. And then I'm going to come up to the top and give it a little bit of color. All right, now let's try adding a little bit of red to the orange. And we're going to make a darker color pumpkin. So I think this one, I'm going to make him a little bit squatter. So I'm going to come around this way, and I'm going to come around this way. Make a little bit on top. And just bring that color down. And the fun part is you can add more color to your brush and add it into your pumpkin. All right, the next one I'm going to do, this one, I love this color. I'm going to load up my brush with this sagey green. And I'm going to do a big white pumpkin. And what I'm going to do is rinse out my brush after doing that first little bit. And I'm going to take out some of that color. Wash out my brush again, come back around here, take out some of that color, and then I'm just going to fill in. And that's it for the white one. Okay, so now I'm just going to do a bunch of them in different shades of orange, orange, red, and white. And I'm going to speed up the process for you. All right, here comes our next step, which is adding the details. So what I've done is I've mixed a little bit of brown here with just a smudge of purple. And I'm going to add the stem, which is basically just the top. And that's a little purpley for me, so I'm going to add in some brown. Then this one I'm just going to add. I keep going back to the purple and not the brown. Okay, that's great. All right. This one's a little more brown. And I'm just using the tip of my brush. And this one we'll make this way. Maybe he needs a little bit bigger stem. I'm not too worried about the stems, as they're just going to get cut into the design of the pumpkin. Whoops, I did it again. I dipped my brush into the purple. Okay, let's try the brown. And when my brush is too wet, I'll dab it on the paper towel. And then that way I can get some of that excess water off, and I can come back in and add a little more color. Now, if you want to get fancy, you can add a little bit of green to your stems. I'm just gonna put a tiny dab here. Now let's add our fine marks. And what I'm going to do is just outline this pumpkin like so, and add some curves to him. I don't mind that this is wet because it's going to add a little dimension to it, and I like adding that. Now on this, if you just let it sit, it's going to be dry and not move with water. But if you come in with a clear brush of water and you add water to this, it will give you a little bit of movement on that pen marking and add some shadowing. So that's all I did, is I used clear water on my brush. You know what, let me zero in on this one a little bit so you can see it more. So I have my brush ready to go, and I'm going to take my pen, outline this real quick, just super easy marks. Like so. Take my brush with water, go over this, and now you're getting all that fun shadowing. I'll probably cut this away when I cut out my pumpkin. All right, so I'm going to go through and add all the marks to the rest of my pumpkins. All right, friends. These little cutie pie pumpkins are ready to go. Quick and simple, no perfection needed. I'm going to cut one out and show you how fun they are. And they're all cut out. All right, so this is how we get them. Can you see it? There I am. Okay. To stand out in all your journals, all your tags. I even like to put these into a little vase of flowers. Instead of a paper clip, I'll use a wooden skewer and then just tuck these into some fall flowers. So really, there's all kinds of ways you can use these on the envelope if you want to send a little card, a tag, your journal, your calendar. Okay, now I'm going to show you the fun finishing touches. Okay, so I have these guys all cut out. One last little paint detail I like to do is I'll take my brush and I'm just going to use a good bit of orange paint. And I'm going to splatter. Maybe add some red into that because it's hard to see. And you just tap your brush and it will add cute little splatters. You don't want a soaking wet brush because then you can't see the color. But it just adds a fun little detail. All right, once you have those cut out, make sure you save your scraps from cutting it. Grab your glue, grab your paper clips, and if you have a wooden skewer, grab that too, and we will finish these up. Okay, friends, here's how we're going to finish these up. We're going to take some of our scraps and just cut thin strips for the back of the pumpkins. Now you can do them one at a time. Sometimes I like to maybe glue a couple of them together, overlapping like this. So it's kind of cute. Or to have them in groups of 3 is fun. So I'll add this one here, and maybe this little guy can go on the back. Just a drop of glue so that you have this cute little pumpkin patch. So what I'll do is I'm going to flip it over. I have extra large gold paper clips. We're going to take this piece of paper, thread it through the paper clip like so. Okay, so you're going to want the long side toward you. See how the smaller one is in the back? Now we're going to put a little bit of glue on each side. Press that down. Sometimes I'll clip these together to make sure it gets glued. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to slide my paper in here like so. Ah. Do this. And then I'm going to put it up higher. So that you can't see it. And that's going to be for that one. Now, you can do little single pumpkins like this. Let's get one more paper clip out. There we go. Slide this guy. Here's my glue. And I'm just going to put him up here like this. And that's a little single pumpkin. Now the other thing that's really fun to do is to take a wooden skewer. I'm going to glue these two together. And then what I'll do is take my little paper strip, glue down the sides, kind of fold it a little bit so it's going to go around my skewer. You can also add just a little bit more in there closer to the skewer or even on the skewer to keep it in place. You can use the art glitter glue for this. It works great. You can even take a glue gun to it. Okay, so then what you have is a cute pick for a flower vase or even just a couple flowers. So I'm going to show you what they look like in your journals and a flower vase and a couple other things. Let's go. Okay, friends, if you are new to these tutorials, don't forget to like and subscribe and find more beginner tutorials, easy things to put into your art journals and different things during your playtime and creative time. And drop a comment and let me know what you think I should paint next. It could be acorns or leaves or mushrooms. Ooh, mushrooms would be fun, don't you think? And if you happen to make these pumpkins, tag me because I love seeing what you create. All right, till next time, I'll see you later.